I welcome you very happily to this very special edition of the Village Square. The political space is becoming more interesting. Politics will keep dominating discussions in Nigeria until 2023. We are being entertained with a lot of funny things that happen in the political setting. Since after the primaries, we have seen a lot of things happen. In PDP, Atiku is facing some challenges, ranging from the choice of his running mate to the funny thing that he is not a Nigerian, that he is a Cameroonian by birth. People have gone to the extent of saying that even his brother is a Senate president of Cameroon. That is politics. One old man said that if you do not want to be told who dated your mother before he got married to your father, don't go into politics. Tinubu is also having his own share of the issues. We are aware that he submitted a form to INEC that does not contain his academic history, especially as it relates to his primary and secondary school education. And people are saying different things. Some say that he intentionally hid it so that people will know his real age. Some say, no, that is not his real name, that Tinubu is not his real name, that his primary and secondary school certificates contain the name Yekini Amoda Ogunlere, and that is politics for you. But if there is one party that is bringing surprises, it is one party called Labour Party. Since P2B joined the Labour Party, things have not been the same in the political scene. Go out there, all you hear is obedient, capital OBI, of course, the rest small letters. This party is also having its own share of the challenges, ranging from who will become P2B's running mate. Some say it is going to be Kwankwaso, that they are working together. And Kwankwaso's people have come out to say, look, if there should be a vice presidential candidate, it should be P2B that should be the vice to Kwankwaso, that Kwankwaso is the senior. Of course, we know that even here, there are some attacks. Would I call it attacks? No, I won't call such attacks. There are some things people are saying. We are aware that there is an allegation that the Anambra State governor, Professor Soludo, said over the weekend, I don't know how true that is, that Soludo or those in Labour Party labor in vain, and that Labour Party cannot win elections because they don't even have a councillor. And people are saying, no, this is a new wave. They have denied it, that Soludo didn't say that. They've not told us what Soludo said. But Labour Party is making some impacts. Is Labour Party capable of taking over Nigeria? Is this the end of PDP and APC in Nigeria from Labour Party? Can P2B defeat the powerful Atiku and Tinubu? Is it possible for P2B to run with Kwankwaso? Is Wike on his way to joining P2B in the Labour Party? Well, will the Igbos, wherever they are, vote for P2B? Here in Abia, is Labour Party capable of dislodging PDP that has been in the saddle since 1999? Is Alex Oti on his way to becoming the next governor of Abia State? Here in Aba, the Enyimba city, there is one young man who says he has the capacity, what it takes to represent the resilient, the courageous, the hardworking people of Enyimba city. And he's running on the platform of Labour Party. I am talking about none other person than Honourable Emeka Nnamani, who is my guest. Honourable Nnamani, welcome to the Village Square.
Thank you very much, and thank you welcome to our audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honourable Emeka Nnamani is going to tell us why he has chosen to run on the platform of Labour Party, what makes Labour Party tick. He's going to tell us if he's capable of defeating other party bigwigs or other political heavyweights in Aba. He's going to tell us why he is the best person to represent Ndiaba. He is a very young man. He will tell us what he has as his plans for the youth of Aba. He has a lot to tell us this evening, and that is why I have brought him. Yeah, let's set the ball rolling. Until recently, you were in Abga. where you were among the formidable candidates. And now you are in Labour Party. People are surprised. Why the Labour Party this time?
Oh, thank you very much. I had to leave the Abga family that I had been with for quite some time because of the lack of leadership at the national level. It appears, especially to me, that the party has lost the original ideology as handed over by the founding fathers and by Odumegwu Ojukwu himself, where we had an arrangement to have a party, the first party in Nigeria that would actually have an ideology. It is not quite a regular thing to see people move, maybe Democrats becoming Republicans like in the United States of America, because they have an ideology which conflicts completely with one another. So they don't swap parties the way we do here. This is the first time that we are having a party that has an ideology, which is the ABGA. But unfortunately, there is a leadership deficit at the top, at the national level, where orderliness and decorum has been thrown out. There is no discipline at that point, where people can come from other parties and simply purchase their way through whatever they want in the party. And I find that completely unacceptable. I find a situation where people can have lost the original values of the party, which was to create a regional party that was meant for the Igbos in this locality, so as to actually have a regional influence within the Southeast. You and I know that you need 2/3 of the votes to become president in all the regions. You must have to get 2/3 of the vote. And I know for one that is quite possible, and that is the fastest way for us to begin to negotiate what happens at the top. If we can have a party that will say, this is our party, we are going to suffocate whoever is coming from whatever other place to come here. If you must win elections to get our 2/3, you must come to negotiate with us, so that as you're forming a government, we the Igbos would have a say. Who gets what? Where and what projects are we going to have that will be coming towards the Southeast? So in my own view, I thought that was what ABGA was meant to stand, but it has eluded the party completely at the moment.
And you have seen that in Labour Party.
That is exactly why I joined the Labour Party.
All right. You are running up against some very formidable candidates. Yes. I give it to them, including the incumbent member representing Aba North and Aba South Federal Constituency. Why should Ndiaba trust you and give you their votes to go and represent them in Abuja?
Oh, well, the person that has the tickets for ABGA incidentally does not live in Aba. You cannot want to represent the people that you don't know what their problems are. His family doesn't live here. He has no business here. He comes every 4 years to come and try his luck. That's not the kind of representation. Once you give him the ticket, you won't see him again for another 4 years. It puts him in a wrong footing. Absolutely wrong footing when it comes to knowing the heartbeat and where it pinches, the shoe pinches the people of Aba. Then the ticket bearer for
is it PDP?
PDP now.
Okay.
My good friend ABCK. He may have good intent, but he lacks the skill and will to speak truth to power, because the legislative business requires more than just doing empowerment every now and then. You need to be able to sit. We need someone who has the vibrancy, who has the capacity to formulate bills, and who have the will to present things the way they are. Because the town, as we used to know it growing up, is in a total mess. It's a ghost of itself. And it would require that somebody who is strong-willed represents this town in order to bring to the fore all the things that are already haunting this town. I can tell you for sure that the two candidates that are coming from the other parties do not have neither the skill nor the will to make proper presentations at the floor of the plenary.
So, what makes you the best man for the job? That is what Nduagu will want to hear.
Well, I'm the best man for the job because I was born here. I have lived all my life here. I know the nook and cranny of this town. Every corner of this town I know. And I know where and what the town requires to get back to its feet. I have never, ever, ever lived anywhere else in my entire life. My businesses are here, and I have well over 300 people gainfully employed here. So I have given enough to the community that I grew up in, that I was born in, so much so that I think that in the light of what has been going on in the past few years that has led to the decay that we find ourselves in right now, if we all keep silent about it, we are not victims, we are conspirators to the decay. So I volunteer to serve because I know that I live here and I have the knowledge of what should be done in order to get Aba back to its feet.
You've lived in Aba all the while, as you have said. All your businesses are here. Yes. What are those problems bedeviling the growth of Aba as a town? And how do you intend to tackle them if you are given the opportunity to be the eye and the face and the voice of Aba in Abuja?
Well, matters of Aba can be tackled as they arise. As they arise, they can be faced head-on. For instance, I totally believe that we have not had a fair share of funding when it comes to most of the companies that have gone marathon in Aba. There are billions of naira that is wasted. A good legislator could actually make a case of that, because it is possible, I can tell you for sure, to get some kind of grants from the federal government, from the CBN, that can resuscitate these companies. Okay, let's take, for instance, the last event that happened on the major roads to your studio, where a heavy-duty truck ran off track and then killed quite a number of people. This road, of course, you and I know, it's a federal road. And who says that a legislator, out of a matter of urgent need, cannot raise a solid argument why this death trap should be corrected, because the road is a federal road.
It's a federal road, yes.
So why can't we put a bridge or a flyover or whatever it is that can run right from where you have before the decline up until you get to almost Ukebu Road here? Who says a legislator cannot attract?
Can a legislator do that?
A legislator can attract that kind of a project. I can attract that kind of project because I know the right lines to punch. But if you put people who do not have the capacity, who are only looking at getting the constituency allowances and whatever other allowances that come, and then they take it to where they live and put it in their private businesses, then you will not be able to know that such fundings are available. They are available.
Are you satisfied with what those in the past have done so far?
Absolutely none. I am not in any way satisfied. I believe we've not had sound legislators, if that is the truth. We have had people who just go there. How many times have you seen anybody move a bill from Abia State? Even moving a motion from any of our legislators. When you watch the parliament, it's on television all the time. You can see that we have docile people representing us. That cannot continue to happen. Absolutely none. And we're not all going to keep quiet and watch things go wrong. We have to take actions, and that is why I have offered myself in service with all sincerity of purpose to do this job. and I know I can leave a mark if I'm given the opportunity.
What is trending now is that a governor said that your party has no structure and not capable of winning election. He was alleged, I don't know how true that is, that you don't even have a council if we actually said so. Labour Party has no structure, as they said. Do you see you and your party winning when you are alleged to have no structure?
You know, the term, in parentheses, structure. I think is overrated. People have put in so much in trying to make structure, to make anything they wish look like it is a structure. Our principal, Peter Obi, already says his structure is 100 million Nigerians who are not satisfied with what's going on. People, even political parties and political structures are made of people. It is people, and we have people who are willing to work. And not just work, we have people who are willing to work for free. Okay, so now let me ask you a question. In 2015, everybody said APC had no structure and would not be able to win the election. Didn't you see them take over the country? Was there anything like APC by earlier than 2014? But we all saw how everything happened. And then they became the majority from nowhere. So if you say that we don't have a structure, that's absolute rubbish. We are setting up structures on ground, if that is what they are talking about. I, for one, of course, I know this job very well. In Aba North and Aba South, we are setting up a formidable structure made up of people who are actually volunteering from other parties. They are coming in droves. So the funding is there. The people are there, and we have 7 months or thereabouts before the elections. So those who keep saying that we don't have a structure, I can bet you will be pleasantly surprised.
Interesting to hear. Yeah. What has Honourable Emeka Nnamani done so far from there but to warrant their giving him their votes?
Well, aside from the fact that I am a labor, I'm an employer of labor. Those who know me closely also can testify to the content of my character. I have the right character and the right pedigree to get this job done. And I have also invested in human capital. I have a whole lot of people who I have invested in their personal businesses. I have hospitals that I have aided in my own ways. And Emeka Nnamani Foundation, of course, have been given treatment to quite a number of people in Abia State. We have paid millions in surgeries, eye surgeries in particular. We have invested in giving out free reading glasses. We have taken care of cataract extractions of over, let me not over-exaggerate, over 1,000 people in the last 7 years. And my foundation is purely humanitarian, so it's not over-advertised, because I've never had the plans of using what we have done for
political purposes,
purposes. So we are under advertised. But then those who have benefited from some of the charity gestures that has come from my foundation can testify to it. I have a program that is going to be specifically targeting the youth. It is supposed to galvanize the youths from the derail, the way I see it. Most of the youths now no longer want to involve themselves in vocational training, which was what Aba was known for. When I was growing up, if you wanted anything fabricated, they would tell you to go to Aba. Aba was even at some point rated as the Japan of Africa. And then we suddenly found ourselves on a decline, on a backward slide from that trajectory that we were going on before, that trajectory. So I am thinking that if I'm given the opportunity, that I can re-energize the idea of the youth in particular having to having one or two vocational training that can aid them so that they can go away from having the focus on keke riding. And I'm not saying that it is not a decent means of livelihood, but I think that in the past, our politicians have over-advertised and emphasized on keke being a way of livelihood. It has made a lot of youths mentally and intellectually lazy. They are no more talking about what they can do or manufacture. They are all thinking about just hopping into a keke and go out, and then you get free, you get money as fast as you can on a daily basis. I'm thinking I have a program that is going to bring the Chinese and some other expatriates down here, not sending people up there. It's more expensive when you send people out there. We should be able to have people come down to this place and train our people on fabrication, mechanical fabrication, on shoemaking, on we have the best sellers. We need to have a proper platform to showcase what we already have. If we have people who are doing business and they are making forex, for instance, like I know a tailor, he makes clothes and sends them to the United States.
From Abia here.
From Abia here. Now, if that could be encouraged by creating a leeway that would make it easier, and then soft loans made available, why can't they refocus on something that is more creative than just riding Okada or riding keke and some other not too lawful activities? So I have I wouldn't want to bring that on air right now because that's my intellectual property. So I'm guiding.
You wouldn't want it stolen. I have with me here the candidate of Labour Party vying to represent the good people of Abia in the Federal House of Representatives, and he is Honourable Emeka Nnamani. Honourable Nnamani, before we talk about your presidential candidate, in a free, fair and credible election, do you see yourself as emerging victorious?
Of course, yes, I do. The people of Abia have not changed from who they were in 2015, where I got 17,700 votes, and the person who came second, who was the incumbent then, got 3,500 votes. So if you look at that margin, the records are there. If you look at the margin, you can see that the people actually know what they want, and they are tired of the regular professional politicians who do nothing but just politics. That is just the truth. I believe strongly at that too, that with the capacity that I have around me and the kind of people that are willing to work free, they are coming in droves, volunteers coming from all other parties to work for us in Labour Party. I can tell you for free that I am going to have landslide victory in 2023.
The most talked about presidential candidate is the candidate of your party, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi. The new word that has come into Nigerian lexicon is obedient. People are volunteering, as you have said, that we are going to work for Labour Party. But on a personal note, how would you describe the personality and pedigree of your presidential candidate?
Of course, Peter Obi is a blessing. He is the man that is going to change the narrative. He is a man that has the capacity to bring Nigeria out of the present political and economic quagmire that we find ourselves in. We are going to present him wherever we go, proudly and gladly, because, I mean, who else is more presidential than he is? He is the man that can stand in front of United Nations and speak in the language that they understand. These people understand only figures and data. He is a man who knows these figures and data that can express them accurately, the indices that ought to change the narrative. He is an economist. There is no way you can compare him with all the other people. Look at what he did with, let's use the Anambra State as a litmus. He, within 8 years, he set up things that are still running. The state is still making money from some of the investments that he did. No governor in the history of Nigeria has had to hand over money in billions, both in forex, foreign exchange, and in Nigerian naira, except P2B. And it is about time we stopped looking the way of godfathers presenting someone to us. Let us look at people who are self-made. P2B is a self-made billionaire. And a man who is a manager of resources and people cannot go wrong when you give him power. It's not science. It's not rocket
science.
It's a simple arithmetic. If you give power to someone who already has thousands of people gainfully employed, who has done well in the private sector on his own, like P2B and Dr. Alex Oti, who have their personal investment running seamlessly, making profits, paying taxes. I mean, why would you look elsewhere? We don't need these people who were relatively out of any form of business before they came into power. Like Tinubu, as far as I'm concerned, is nowhere qualified. He is too old and he is sick. He should be able to go somewhere and take good care of himself. He has made a lot of money from Lagos as a state. He has made a lot of money from the federal government. He has enjoyed having presented the last president, Muhammadu Buhari, was his brainchild. And I think it is about time he went to sleep. Atiku Abubakar is not supposed to, with the way he handled the privatization, he privatized everything to himself and his cronies. Is that what we want? We want somebody who will continue the looting from where they stopped. That's not what we want. We want someone who after 8 years will be handing over money to the next president, not deficit, not debt. Nigeria is already heavily indebted. It will take a genius like P2B to walk and maneuver us out of the level of indebtedness that we're in right now. Anything less than that means that we and our 2-3 generations to come might not be able to finish paying the debt, even in 2-3 generations from now. That's not what we want. We don't want to hand over a country that is completely dilapidated, heavily indebted, bleeding from all angles. We're having insecurity issues, having all sorts of, the health sector is in a mess. The education sector is a mess. You can't even hold on to one thing. The transportation sector is a mess. I mean, these people, they don't think that I wonder how they reason.
You have a governorship candidate who has run, I think, on 2 previous occasions and couldn't make it, and he's there now. Do you see this time for him? Do you think that your party, with the candidate you have as a governor, able to take over the states?
Of course, I do. In 2015, Alex Soti won the election. I can boldly tell you that. Unfortunately, we did not have something like the Electoral Act in place then to protect his mandate, unfortunately. But then I can tell you for free that now that the Electoral Act is in place, he will win the election again. And he will deliver the real dividends of democracy. Because I know him personally, aside from the fact that he is running for the Guba election, and I know the capacity that is within that man. And I think it is only fair that we begin to bring people who are already standing on their own. We don't have to bring any person. Abia State has gone past the level where somebody will bequeath Abia State to an individual as though it's a gift. No, that's absurd. It cannot continue to happen that way. Let us try people who are independent, who are their own godfather, who have the capacity to run their elections, who are not indebted to anybody, so that when they fail, they would not have the flimsy excuses of, oh, my godfather, they didn't allow me work, they did this, they did that, like we hear here, as if it is normal that we should understand that your godfather didn't allow you to work, to perform. All other states in Nigeria moving forward, I think Abia State is the most backward. And it is not something that anybody should be proud of. So I think we should just leave the party differences and for once say within our conscience, let us do the right thing. And doing the right thing means bringing someone like Dr. Alex Soti to run the affairs of the state.
That's quite engaging. Our lines are already buzzing because they really want to speak with you. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Yanuki, and I'm calling from Wahil.
All right, make your contribution. Have a minute.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Honourable Emeka Nnamani.
Good evening, ma'am.
And Doctor, good evening.
Thank you.
Yes. I want to speak about Honourable Emeka Nnamani.
Go ahead, he's here.
He's somebody I know very well. He's, like we say, obedient, hardworking. And according to what he said as well, he said he employs over 1,000 people in his leadership in Aba.
No, he said 300.
Yeah. So I think he can make a difference, and he can make a difference, and he can make an impact as well.
Thank you very much for your
Yes, you don't need the same people who have ruined us in Aba. Most of us have stayed in Aba for so long, and we expect new people who actually have the mind of God in them, who can take Aba to the promised land.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
That is my take.
Thank you for your...
Kudos to you.
Thank you very much, madam.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is that's just the right thing. What we need now in Abia State is just someone that is independent, like he said. That is what we need. We don't need someone that comes up and say, bringing up someone, this is your godfather. We don't need it again. Look at the whole states in this country now. I think Abia State is the last. As the whole state in this country, Abia State is the last state.
Thank you for your contribution.
What we need is someone that is independent, like he said.
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling in.
Because I'm to the yes, I know Chalamil Oku. Pasatara, my Abia State, my Nigeria. Without Kuya, we talk with Rede. Ramam now, didn't the Kayama, Aleso to my P2P. I'm not now, Abaka Napa, Nagadi, Nagadi, they will show cool. So, more than one man, Makutopa. When you put a like Abba PVC, and because on any hand, you can you change it. If you let Bangla go that, thank you.
Yeah, my brother, good evening.
Thank you.
I'm taking it so.
So, Dikin Ebella.
So, you're blessed. I'm making the Honourable neighbor.
Thank you.
For this season, as for the church, the better more than Abia State. But when go Ojam Nakukiyambo, the Bar South and Aba North, on the House of Representatives. What you can now before because of the good man they take. Low to put him, Kahamakar moves the Hamonobo. Or the only cannot defeat you who can honor them putting in about an hour. And you only like also. So you only key make here when you only key make a bubble when you're not after.
He's asking if you're capable of defeating the incumbent. Are you capable? That's the question.
I am very ready, and I believe that I have what it takes for for the fight ahead of us, because it's going to be a fight.
It is a real fight. Thank you very much. Hello.
Good day.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Village Square.
Yes, I want to make my own contribution with respect to all the.
Your name, sir. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Uncle Aja, calling from Abia.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm very grateful in respect to all the submissions made by Honourable Emeka Nnamani. Indeed, in Abia State, the concept of godfatherism has to be destroyed. Honestly, in all ramifications, Dr. Alex Oti is the life of Abia State. Let us tell ourselves the truth. This concept of godfather should be, annihilated in Abia State. Alex Oti is the rightful person to handle the affairs of Abia State. He's an economist, a financial expert, an internationally well-known economist. So we have to give him this opportunity. In 2015, he won. In 2019, I think he also won. But because of this concept of personalism, he does not come from this place, he does not come from this place. He becomes a lot of things. I'm very grateful, honestly. If we all will come out and ensure that we protect his vote and give him this mandate to do that, there will be change within a year.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Yeah.
The willingness for people to register at the moment is overwhelming. And I don't know what other people are doing, but I have been partnering with INEC to have them mobilized to various parts of the constituency, so as to make it easier for people to get registered. Unfortunately, they do not. There is a serious handicap on their side. They do not have enough machines.
Okay.
So the machines that they have, I must commend INEC. They have been working tirelessly in the last few months, in the last few weeks. Our people, we have this last minute orientation. Everybody suddenly, this exercise has been up and running for about 11 months now. And then people are coming out for the first time in their numbers to want to register overnight, which I can tell you it is because of the obedient force that is coming.
True. You're right.
And INEC has been very cooperative, so to speak. And we have been helping to mobilize them.
I want you to continue in that direction. More calls are coming in. Hello?
I want to ask the Honourable there, the guest.
Yes, sir.
You can see what happened in Ekiti State. You can see where electorate have been monetized with their conscience with money all this time. And you see that money supersedes the electoral act this time in this country. How can you be able to take care of that monetization? Because I can see all these two major political parties that have the strength as they, dollarize the conscience of the electorate and the delegates. How can you cope up with the system this time around? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Well, to that regard, we have a sensitization program that will be coming up just before the elections. And that is going to be one out of many other things we're going to put in place, which I might not want to open up right now, because it might give all those who are planning such the time to begin to work out an antidote to what we're going to do. But I can tell you for one that a sound sensitization program where people will be encouraged to, yes, take the money belongs to them, and then still do the needful. Because how can one actually mortgage 8 years of his life for just
5,000 or 10,000,
20,000, 5,000? I cannot even buy one bag of rice. So does that now mean that after you collect, assuming, let's say 20,000 naira, which I know nobody will give to them, but then let's assume 20,000 naira. If you take 20,000 naira and then you live in abject squalor for another 8 years, how have you now benefited? So we are going to sensitize people into understanding that add 8 years to your age, sir, and then you find out how old you'd be 8 years from now. Add 8 years to that of your child, any of your children, and find out how old the person will be. That's a whole lot of time for you to mortgage for just peanuts. So there will be massive sensitization, so that when they come with these monies, fine, you can take the money and
also do the right thing. But if you can't reject the money, reject the money.
Let them take it.
Okay.
Yes. What this man is saying is very nice. It's true. Take all the truth. Everybody knows that in 2016, elected to one election, which everybody knows. But the cabal didn't allow him to vote. So what? And another one I want to say is that this issue of registration for voter card. So if they can, the INEC, if they can help people, to make sure that people registered and they make sure they get their voter card and vote wisely. So it is time for us to be out from bondage.
Thank you very
much. I
much.
like what you are saying.
Because
Gani.
Registration center, register for their TV, so we're back with the INEC. So how could say that you can have a number of
I can take your note.
I'm a double to Amu here.
Okay.
For a mama double to Amu, or wherever we mention a registration.
Adam, thank you for thank you.
If I is calling from Nduagu.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, Honourable. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think regarding the discussion tonight, I think these parties, the ones that are just coming up now, like the Labour Party and some other parties, more especially the Labour parties, have a chance in this coming election. Because the truth of the matter is that people are fed up with these same people. If you are going out, whether your son is a speaker in this state, whether your brother is this one, the other one is doing this, they are just cycling the whole thing. So the truth of the matter is that we are tired because we are looking at where is the electricity they promised, where is the road, where is the economy, where is the market, what are they doing about the living of the masses? They're nothing. It's just they keep being in this position years after years. So I think these parties, and when people talked about that the young people are coming up, people are registering, getting their PVC and all that. The truth of the matter is that it's because of Labour Party. Since P2D came on board, because we are looking for a fresh hand, we are looking for ideas, people that have something to offer, not the same big men, the same name, Atiku, Tinubu. We are tired of what is nonsense with these people. Let me not call them nonsense anyway. This is radio. But we are tired of them. So we are tired. So I think the Labour Party is a force to reckon with, both national level and in the state. That's what I have to say. Thank you. Let's to win the election. Win way of more. Election result na aka no mo aya ka bia confuse your blue face result guy for that. Yan na chikuru na election to be win. One name nwoke kwa nke na-ekwu Labour Party ka onye ọwụna nọ. Aha m wo ibe time from Owuraba. Ụzọ ọha nkwa alụrụ ya alụ. Ụzọ ọha for how many years? Mgbe anyị nwụchara ndị bi ebe ahụ ụlọ ndị mmadụ na-emebi. Anyị ga-anwụ before na alụọla anyị ụzọ. A na-achọ ndị PDP. Anyị achọzụrụ nwa ọzọ achọkwa na awụ Labour Party. Bito bi ebe ahụ. Thank
you very much. Honourable Nnamani, our time is up. Your parting shots and advice on the Aban and the Abia.
Oh, great. Well, I haven't got much to say other than number one, some people are reluctant to still get their PVC. They say they've spent too much time in the queues, and manage or the number na 1 hour or 2 hours or even the whole day, an exercise you would do for entire one day. and save yourself the stress of 4 years or 8 years. So why wouldn't you have the patience? We know that things are not as fast as it ought to be. But then if you sacrifice even 3 days to get the PVC, it is worth it. Then when it comes to election proper, please let us vote out all these people that have kept us the way we are.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honourable Emeka Nnamani, for being part of this show. And to my callers, even those who couldn't get us, our sincere apologies. Thank you for being part of Village Square this evening, and let us do it again next week. Remain law abiding. I am Dr. Stanley Nduagu. Bye for now.